5759. We are in Arlington. Abraham, welcome. Happy Monday. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Thanks
Hi.
for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how do you square the circle that what Marco Rubio has said the past week or two since meeting with the Russians in Saudi Arabia completely flies in the face of everything he has said regarding democracy and autocracy the past 10 or 15 years of his career?
How do you tell me the examples that occur to you? I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, but I want you to be a little more clear to me. Go ahead.
Well, as the descendant or the child of Cuban migrants, he's very pro-democracy. He's very anti-autocracy, anti-dictatorship. He's always made lots of pro-Ukraine, anti-Russian comments over the years. And now he's joined Neville Trump as an appeaser and lover of Putin.
But with that, we have your answer that we know. And by the way, we all have a side we're on, and it's okay to be on our side. And if you disagree,
he changed his mind.
And if you do, on some things he has, but in this particular moment, because I'll just use myself, I'm certainly not pro-dictator. I'm certainly not pro-autocracy. But in Putin, you have somebody who's one side of something we've got to deal with in the most advantageous way possible. So to try to lure Putin to a negotiating table with Zelensky and try to elicit things from both of them that stop a war does not make one pro-dictator. That is some pretty goofy analysis.
What are we going to elicit from Putin? Because whenever Trump, Vance, or any of them are asked about it, they don't have an answer. They're only good at showing what Ukraine is going to give up.
Right.
They have never said anything that Russia would give up.
It's a good question. What Russia's going to give up is whatever fantasy Putin may have when his head hits the silk pillow of making all of Ukraine, putting the whole band back together and him being able to run roughshod over all of Ukraine. He's going to have to disabuse himself of that goal, which is big.
Oh, right.
That's what he wants to do.
Because putting some mining people in there, putting some American mining contractors in there, that'll certainly stop.
Well, as I just said, it's not just going to be American mining contractors. There will be, I believe, a European troop presence from Britain, from France, maybe some other nations there as a military deterrent to Putin. It's not just going to be American miners.
One other question for you too.
Sure.
Do you know any mass murderers?
Not personally.
If you did, would you boast how well you got along with them?
It depends. If I am the president of the United States and the mass murderer is somebody whose regime has had that kind of toll in some type of global conflict, I will say and do things that are designed to elicit from that leader things I want to bring about the desired result. So, yeah, I will. But just to finish, and to draw some sort of syllogism, some analogy between that and maybe me knowing a mass murderer who killed 12 people in a school shooting and me talking about what a swell guy that is, that's just a silly comparison.
How come in the lead up to World War II, American politicians didn't exchange love letters with Hitler?
Because in a shocking development that I think you can absorb, not every world situation is the same. Some things are different. Got to take them on a case-by-case basis. Glad you called. We are in Minnesota. Love this. Hey, Mr. Internet. Chip. Hey, Mark Davis. Welcome. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. And I hope the previous caller reached the prince. So I think that would be a good start.
Machiavelli's prince?
Yes,
yep.
in that regard. So I got